The forest loomed large, ancient pines clawing towards the sky like long forgotten guardians. Nestled deep within the foliage, veiled away from the outside world, stood Northveil Academy, a sprawling Gothic structure dressed in ivy and illusion. By day, it was a paradise, and by night, it was hell cloaked in shadows. A sleek black Rolls Royce purred to a stop before the grand iron gates. Yetunde stepped out, one heel boot after the other, like royalty gracing the commoners with her presence. Her dark sunglasses slid down her nose as she surveyed the tall towers, fountains, and stained glass windows with a smug grin. She dialed her phone. Omo babes, this school, mad oh. These buildings look like the ones in Harry Potter. Now here we go bust brain. Her best friend back home, struggling to afford public school fees, giggled on the other end. You're too much, Yetunde. You're just too much. I wish to be like you one day, oh. Forget, I'm going to rule this place. You should see the stupid children, looking so confused. Rich kids, poor kids, all mixed. But me, I stand out, Jare. She hung up, rolling her designer suitcase towards the dormitory entrance, not even glancing at the middle-aged man standing by the car park watching. Mr. Yusuf. He wore the face of a humble teacher, buttoned up shirt, horn-rimmed glasses, slit limp from an old accident he never explained. His eyes, however, were hungry, calculating. Yetunde didn't notice. Okay. You, she gestured to him. Come carry my bags. She backed, tossing her Chanel bag at him. He caught it mid-air, lips coiling into a cold smile. Of course, Miss Yetunde. Welcome to Northveil. She sneered and flipped her weave. I'll be needing a private room. I don't want to share. Behind those gates, the school sparkled with sophistication. Flower beds blooming, the scent of roses in the wind. Staff members polished and proper. Parents waved goodbye to their kids with tearful pride, clueless of what awaited their children once darkness fell. Among the new students was Ada, shy and soft-spoken, always shadowed by the overprotective house mistress. Her parents were wealthy too, oil and real estate, but she didn't carry herself like Yetunde. Ada made eye contact with Ade, son of Chief Badi, a dangerous billionaire with alleged links to political disappearances. Ade, a charming troublemaker, took an instant interest in Ada. I like quiet girls, he whispered to her during lunch, his eyes twinkling with mischief. Ada blushed, pushing food around her plate. Later that night, Ade snuck over the fence, and met Ada in the common area where girls sat to just talk by the moonlight. A scream tore through the dormitory walls. It came from the east wing. Everyone froze. The teachers ran like caring, compassionate people, arrived the scene and realized Miwa, Yetunde's roommate, had vanished. Miwa dared to report Yetunde's bullying to a teacher. She had been dragged from her bed that night, blindfolded and taken underground. She was told she was selected for an international academic symposium in Sweden. Instead, they drugged her, shaved her head, changed her clothes, and locked her in cell 14 beneath the school library, an underground labyrinth of cells and cameras. She woke up to find herself among 6 others, all missing students from the previous years. Instantly, a screen blinked to life. Mr. Yusuf's face appeared on the screen. "You wanted to leave, didn't you, Miwa? You thought this place was safe." He laughed, a bone-chilling sound. They all think that. Not to worry, you will soon learn." Days later, Yetunde noticed something odd about Mr. Yusuf. Mr. Yusuf began treating her differently, asking her to stay back after class, complimenting her in uncomfortable ways. She laughed it off at first, until she found herself cornered in a music room with the door locked. Mr. Yusuf stood, touching Yetunde from head up to her jaw, feeling the hair on her skin from her shoulder to her arms to her fingers. Yetunde was so uncomfortable, she kept trying to break free from his touch. "You think you're untouchable," he whispered, eyes cold. "You are not." She immediately pushed past him, her heart racing. Yetunde went straight to the headmistress, but the principal smiled softly, offering her tea, and said, "Mr. Yusuf is our most trusted staff member. Are you sure you're not overreacting?" She left in silence, her anger boiling deep, her hands trembling. She knew she had to do something. Ade, who had been suspicious of Miwa's disappearance after he had managed to jump the fence the night before, decided to hack into the school's restricted network. What he saw froze his blood. There were live camera feeds of chained children, transactions in cryptocurrencies, files detaining parents, bribes, and cover-ups. He showed Ada, "Listen, Ada, we have to run. We have to escape from this place. This is not what our parents thought it was. We are all in big, deep soup." Ada could barely speak. She nodded, terrified. They made plans of how they would meet in the midnight through the forest trail by the chapel. But someone betrayed them. Their housemates. Suleiman. Suleiman had been accosted by Yusuf and had been promised a hope, a chance of freedom, if he reported any suspicious movement. And that day was the day Suleiman felt he was going to get his freedom. He overheard Ada and Ade planning cautiously their escape, and he ran, reporting this incident to Yusuf. That night, as Ade and Ada were about to flee, they were caught. They were blindfolded, and they were taken to the abroad program. Ade and Ada were tossed in cell 9. Electrified walls, no clocks, constant surveillance, forced to watch the fate of others. Sometimes a child was sold, sometimes tortured on camera, sometimes killed. Ade whispered under his breath, "Don't worry, Ada, don't worry. I'll get us out. I'll try. Anyway, every way, I'll try." Ade whispered, confused. But each day broke a part of him. His fingernails were ripped. Ada was injected with something that made her hallucinate. And still, every morning, the school gates opened. Parents dropped off their kids with fresh smiles. Tours were given. New children arrived. And Yetunde, she had become silent. She no longer walked with a strut. She sat quietly, staring into the sky. Mr. Yusuf passed by one day and gently touched her shoulder. You're learning.